Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the transit of Venus in Libra. Well, first thing I'll look at what I find is interesting. Okay, when Venus transits Libra, it's making its transition from Venus in Virgo into Libra. And with Venus in Virgo, it was more about a lot of analysis and love. And really more the energy more prudent, a little bit more introverted. But when you have Venus transiting Libra, you have the energy more gregarious, more sociable, could be more about intellectual sociability, more about stronger expression of the love nature, a little bit held back, I would say, in Virgo. But then Venus, of course, in its dignity, in Libra, I think you have a little stronger expression of this. Though some things, though, about Venus being in Libra, transiting Libra, though it's in its dignity and its home in Libra, it still has some bad elements and aspects to it, such as you might find romantic partners being a little bit more ambivalent in matters of the heart, a little bit more indecisive. You might have this wavering back and forth due to the fact you have this constant and balancing, kind of like of the scale, so to speak, weighing these pros and cons, which can cause some procrastination and people may take a little longer to come to a decision because of this, because they're so worried about these pros and cons and balancing them and what's fair. It's also a time too. You look at Venus. Venus is also about money. It's not just about love, romance, and relationships. I mean, it could be the ideal period where people may very well balance their budgets better than a lot of other periods, other transits. Libra is about fairness, equality, being equitable. And it's interesting, okay, for next year, Venus will transit Libra from October 14th, 2017 until November 7th, 2017. I find what's interesting about that is that you have, okay, the Major League Baseball postseason will be going on during that, or at least for part of that period. And you have like umpires in the games, and I would expect these games to be called very fairly, umpires being very equitable during this time, more so than usual. Umpires generally are going to be fair anyway, but I think it's even more of an emphasis during this period. I think too, you'll see more people in love exhibiting Libra-like energy during this time, such as being more charming, being more sociable, being more about compromise and reconciliation. It's more of a period where people are more they're more appeasing in relationships and accommodating than usual. They don't want to really rock the boat, so to speak, in relationships, or do anything to where they would be in danger of someone having any animosity toward them or any hatred. They don't want any dissension. I mean, during this period, collectively, people can be stronger about peace and love and in relationships in general. Also, keep in mind that Venus is also about, it's about money and what we may spend money on. So during this time, it could be a period where people might be emphasizing looking attractive more so than usual. Items may be purchased that are associated with art, artistic items such as paintings and drawings. Things, beauty, cosmetics, items, perhaps even things more expenses, and perhaps even in legal matters maybe than usual, because Libra is associated with that. So those are some things to look at as far as this transit goes. And I think another thing, there maybe during this time, when you look at Venus transiting Libra, Venus is also about our pleasure, what we can enjoy, things that we do love. And it could be a time where people might show more of an inclination collectively in terms of being artistic and really maybe becoming more knowledgeable about the law. That could be another thing of enjoyment during this time. What's interesting too is that I find, okay, when you look at the sign Libra. Okay, it's about artists and arbitrators, and it could be a period where it might be more auspicious as far as monetarily for people in those fields and Libra fields in general, even chiropractors, because I mean Libra does rule the lower back, so this could be an auspicious, more of an auspicious period for them during this time. And I think what's interesting too is that Libra transiting Venus transiting Libra, being in its dignity, and the Libra, the sign of relationships. Of course, we look at next year's, and I stated before about Venus transiting Libra from October 14, 2017 to November 7th of 2017. Well, that period comes a little bit, well, especially the end of it is not far from Thanksgiving and Christmas, and the people that celebrate it, maybe this is the time where they're reaching out more and striving to have more relationships, and you're sending out invites early, having more social contact with others in general, more of a love for that and more of an enjoyment in doing so. And also, too, it could be a time where people, some other Libra-like things people may enjoy during this time, maybe during the Venus transit of Libra, could be like Libra-like games, for example, like if there is a Law and Order SVU board game or any board game associated with the law. And also a game, this is a pretty popular game called Pictionary, which involves art, which is associated with Libra and Venus. And also there's some communication in that game as well. And Libra, being an air sign, is connected with communication, as it is about intellectual sociability. And anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the transit Venus in Libra, and stay tuned next time where I'll be talking about the transit Venus in Scorpio. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.